Hello, my dear students in 4th primary. How are you? Now I want to tell you something. Do you know how many 220,000? How should we think to find out the answer? Yes, this is what we are going to learn in lesson 4, comparing values. Concept 1, unit 1. In our lesson today, we will learn how to explain the relationship between place values. العلاقة ما بين place values وبعضها. How to use multiplication to compare place values, as we always do in all our lessons. We will start now with X's. Please open your book to page 15 in the activity. Relationships are important. You need to think about the relationships among the base 10 blocks using multiplication. We learned in the previous lesson that the value of a digit increases by 10 times as it moves where? To the left. Yes, okay, now let's move to the board. Okay, here, if you look at the shape we have here, you will notice that we will have 1 unit. Look, this is 1 unit, as you see here. Okay. But here I have 1 unit. This is the 1 unit, okay? And 10 unit. Where the 10 unit? Yes, this is the 10 unit. And 100 unit. This is the 100 unit. And also I have 1000 unit, and this is the 1000 unit, okay? Now, we need to know what the relationship among them in using multiplication. Think for a moment, if you multiply 1 by 10. Again, if I multiply 1 by 10, we will move to the 10th place, right? If I multiply 1 by 10, like you see, you will move to what? To the 10th place, right? Then, to move to the 100th place, what should we do? Yes, we will multiply the 10th by 10. Like you see here. Here, I will multiply by 10 to go to the 100th place. And what about to move to the 1000th place? To move to the 1000th place, we will multiply also the digit by 10, as you see here. Okay? I'm sure that many of you have started noticing something specific. What do you notice now? That will help them to find out the relationship. What do you notice here? That here I have 1/10 times 1 gives me 100 times 10, gives me 100 times 10 gives me 1000. Okay? Now, we can use multiplication to describe the relationship between the given place value and the place value one step to its left, starting at 1. Here we have the 1st place, 10th place, 100th place, 1000th place, 10,000th place, and 100,000th place. To move from the 1st place to the 10th, what should I do? Exactly, you will multiply by what? Yes, you will multiply the digit by 10, as we said before. Then, to move, yes, or increase its value 10 times. To move to the 100th place, also we will multiply the number in the 10th place by what? By 10, or increase its value by 10, right? Also, to move from the 10 to the 100, same steps. I will multiply by 10 or increase by 10. To move from the 1000 to the 10,000, same steps. I will multiply by 10, as you see here. Last thing, to move from the 10,000 to the 100,000, what should I do? I will multiply by 10, or the number will be increasing by 10. Have you noticed here the pattern repeated? Yes, here each time we move to the left, exactly as we move to the left, we multiply by 10. In the same way, we will start now build and think about the different relationships across the place values in a number. Let's go to see another example. Now, for example, if I write a numeral that consists of the same digits, like what? Like 500 55,555. Okay? This number have the same digits. And I ask you about the value of 5 in the tens place. The value of 5 in the tens place. What your answer be? 50? Will your answer be 50? Is 5 in the tens place 50? Yes or no? Again, if I ask you about the value of 5 in the 100 place, will it be 500? I need to tell you the relationship between the value of 5 in the tens place and the value of 5 in the 100 place. Okay? عايزة أعرفكم the difference between 5 in tens place and 5 in the 100 place. We have agreed that the value of a digit increases by 10 times as we move to the left. So, the value of 5 in the 100 place is 10 times greater than the value of 5 in the tens place. Let's see. The value of 5 in the 100 place is what? Yes, is 10 times greater than value of 5 in the tens place. Right? Because value of 5 in the tens place is 50. So, 50 times 10 gives me 500. 500 equals 10 times greater than 50. 500 is 10 times greater than 50. Okay? يعني 500 means 50 and 10 times greater than it. Okay, also we can say that 50 is 10 times less than 500. But 500 10 times greater than 50 والعكس 50 is 10 times less than 500. Thus, you have compared the different place values of a digit. Now, you are ready for the challenging question in what? In build. Exploring place value relationships. Page 16, you should decide how many hundreds are in 1,000. Again, can you tell me how many hundreds in 1,000? I will give you time, take your time to think, and then we can find out the answer together. Now, I am sure many of you are able to know how many hundreds are in 1,000. Wait, let's write 1,000. I want to know how many hundreds in the 1,000. Who can tell me? طيب, now let's explain this. أنا عارفة إن some of you may be hasty and say that there are no hundreds in 1,000. أيوة, ممكن حد يقول لي miss I cannot find any 100 in the thousands. You can't know that there's a relation between the 100 and the 1,000. Why? Because they have looked at the hundreds and found a 0 there. However, this is not correct answer, of course. We need to know how many hundreds are in 1,000. يعني أنا دلوقتي عايزة أعرف ال 1,000 دي فيها كام 100. Again, ال 1,000 فيها كام 100. We know that 1,000 or the 1,000 place is the value directly after the 100. مش أنا عندي دلوقتي ones, tens, 100, then 1,000. يبقى ال 1,000 على طول بعد ال 100, right? In the previous lesson, we learned that 1,000 place is 10 times greater than the value before it. يعني 1,000 10 times greater than the 100, right? So, we can say that 1,000 equals 10 times greater than 100. 10,000 is what? 10 times greater than 100, right? يبقى 1,000 equals 10 times the 100 or 10 times 100. Now you know the number of hundreds in 1,000. Can you figure out how many 100 in 1,000 now? We need to know how many tens in 1,000. This is another question. Let's see it all together. Now we need to know how many tens are in 1,000. Let's use our manipulatives to know this. Here is my chart, and this is my tools. Let's see all together. Now we need to know how many tens rods are in 1,000. How can we do it? Okay, let's count the tens. Count with me بقى first primary. If I put 10 in the ones place. يلا, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here I have 10 cubes in the tens place. Okay, sorry, 10 cubes in the ones place. Now, can I replace the 10 cubes here with 1 in the tens? Of course, yes. Okay, and now I have 1 tenth. 1 tenth. Okay, what about if I put another 1 to be 2 tenths and 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths? Count with me. 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths, and 10 tenths. Now I have 10 tenths. Can I replace this 10 tenths with 100? With 100? Of course, yes. طيب, now here I have 100. Again, I have 100. طب مش ال 100 دي هي نفسها 10 tenths, right? ال 100 هي نفسها 10 tenths, right? We replace the 10 tenths with 100. So this is 10 tenths. If I put another one, they will be 20 tenths. Another one, 30 tenths. Another one, 40 tenths. Another one, 50 tenths. Then 60 tenths, 70 tenths, 80 tenths, 90 tenths, and finally I have 100 tenths. Yes, I know that it's very big number. Look now, if I have 100 tenths, that means what? 100 tenths. 100 times 10 equals what? يعني إيه 100 tenths? Yes, it means that I have 1000. طب هو السؤال كان إيه؟ كان بيقول لي ال 1000 دي فيها كام tenths؟ Again, ال 1000 فيها كام tenths؟ Yes. يبقى now we know that 1000 equals 100 tenths. 1000 equals what? 100 tenths. Okay? This is very simple way to know the 1000 equals how many the 1000 equals how many tenths. Okay? 100 tenths. I hope you understand this part very well. Now we have used the counting units to know how many tenths in the 1000. And this means we have modeled the answer. Modeled the answer. And here is model. Okay, put it here. Which is a characteristic, the model is characteristic of mathematicians. Let's add this characteristic to the think like mathematicians chart. Okay. Now, before you move to the next activity, I need you to think of the numbers you have seen in this lesson up till now. What have you noticed? What questions do you still have? One of you, حد فيكم هيقول لي I have noticed that we use multiples of 10 a lot. Right. If you have noticed this, then you are focusing well. Your thinking of the multiples will take us to the second activity about ant colonies. On page 17, we will discover هنكتشف مع بعض how ants form new colonies through a process called budding. Now, the best person to explain this to us is our colleague, Mrs. Asma, a science teacher. Let's ask her about the budding process before going back to the activity.
Hello P4 students. I'm too excited like Omar and Maryam to share with you some facts about ants. We knew that ants live in colonies in very large numbers. Each of these colonies has a queen, and in some types of ants, like pharaonic ants for example, there are more than one queen in the same colony. When the queen feels that the colony is in danger or she wishes to increase the number of her colonies, she does a certain behavior. What is that? She takes a group of workers and moves to a new place where they build a new colony. So, what about the original one? The work in the original colony stays as is and never stops. That behavior from the queen multiplies the number of her colonies, and this is what we call budding. Isn't that so cool? Enjoy your math lesson, and of course, we will have more information about ants and numbers.
Thank you, Miss Asma, for this useful information. Let's get back to the activity. Okay, we have known that a colony starts with 200 ants, and in a very short time, it can grow to have 20,000 ants. This is the question at the start of this lesson. Can you remember how many 200 are in 20,000? Let's answer this question and see how many times we need to multiply 200 to be equal to 20,000. Again, عايزة أوصل ال 200 to 20,000. I will multiply it by what? When looking at the place value chart, we will notice that we will move 2 places to the left, okay? Which increases the number by, احنا اتفقنا ال 1 place 10 يبقى 2 places 100 times, right? We can use the previous note and say that 20,000 has 2 more zeros than 200. ليه؟ عشان الفرق ما بينهم 2 places. So 20,000 is 100 times greater than 200. لو عملت 200 times 100 هتديني 20,000. Okay? Also, the colony can vary in size from بيختلف في size from a few dozens to several 100,000 individuals. Now, imagine an ant colony consisting of 333,333 ants. Can you answer problems 4 and 5? Let's see this all together on the board. Now, here as you see, number 4, he's asking me, in which place is 3 that has a value 10 times greater than 3 in the 10,000 place? تاني, he wants in which place, place يعني I will write it in names, not in digits. Place يعني in names. 3 that has value 10 times greater than 3 in 10,000 place. بعد 10,000 place A, if I make 10,000 times 10 gives me, yes, 3 what? 300,000, right? 300,000. Why? Because if I make 3 in the 10,000 place times 10, it will give me 300,000, right? Okay, let's move to question 5. Question 5 tells me in which place is the 3 that has value 10 times greater than the 3 in the ones place. يعني إيه؟ 3 in the ones place, if I make 3 in the ones place times 100 times 100 gives me what? Yes, it will give me 3 what? 300, or the place value of it will be 300, right? Now, as you see here, the answer is 300. Why? Because 3 in the ones place, if I move 1 place to the left, it will be 30, and if I move 2 places to the left, it will be 300. Okay? Now, I will give you time to think about the answer of problems 6 and 7. Now, in problem 6, you want to know how many times greater is the value of a number in the 1000th place than a number in the 10th place. Okay? Of course, you know that the value of the number in the 1000th place equals what? Equals 1000 times, right? And the value of the number in the 10th place equals 10 times. So, to move from the 10th place to the 1000th place means the value will be 100 times. تعالوا نشوف كده again. Here's the ones, tens, 100 and 1000. What should I do, or how many places do I have to move from the 10th place to reach the 1000th place? From the 10th place to the 1000th place, I will move 2 houses. يعني إيه؟ يعني it will be 100 times greater than the number in the 10th place, right? So, how many times the greater is the value of a number في ال 1000th place than a number in the 10th place? Yes, 100 times greater, right? جبناها منين؟ أهو to move from the 10th to the 1000th times 100. Now, for example, if I have, look, I have for 1548, like you see here. 4 is in the 10th place. Where is 4? Yes, 4, this 4 is in the 10th place. So the value of 4 is 40. Yes, the value of this 4 is 40. Why? Because it is in the 10th place. طيب, what about this 4? This 4 is in the 1000th place. So the value of this 4 is 4000, right? Okay, so 4000 is greater than 40 by what? Yes, by 100. If I make 40 times 100, it will give me 4000, right? So, to move from the 10th place to the 1000th place, I will multiply by 100 because here I have 2 places, right? I hope you understand this example very well. Now, let's move to problem number 7. Here, if there are 12 million pharaoh ants on the Kalahari, okay, عندي 12 million pharaoh ants on the Kalahari. وساوث أمريكا عندها 100 times as many pharaoh ants as the Kalahari. يعني عندي 12 million pharaoh ants في الكاليهاري، وساوث أمريكا عندها 100 times زي في Kalahari. Okay? So, how many ants are in South America? Yes, who can tell me? Show me كده. Yes, I am sure that most of you will know this answer. Can you tell me? طيب هعمل ايه؟ هعمل 12 million. هو المليون فيها how many zeros? Yes, 6 zeros. يبقى I will write 12 million times what? Yes, times 100. So I will write 12 million as it is, and I will just add 2 zeros. طب can you read this very big number? If you put the commas, you can read it in a very easy way. Let's see, 3 digits, then the comma, 3 digits, then the comma, and 3 digits, then the comma. Here I have 4 houses. The biggest one is the milliard. يبقى 1 milliard, 200 million only. Right? Okay. Now, let's move and complete our lesson. Now, thus, we have learned the relations between values and practice how to define them. Now, we need to use what we have learned to solve problems in Connect Step to the Left activity, page 18. Okay, I will give you time to write the statement about the dots in the place value chart. Let's see the connect. Here, I'm sure all of you have written a statement about the dots. My statement is that, see here, my statement is that every dot, yes, as you see, in the thousand place equals 10 times greater than the 100 place. Again, every dot in the thousand place, هو أنا عندي هنا how many dots? 4 dots, right? Every one refers to what? 10 in the 100 place, right? Okay, يعني the first dot refers to this 10 dots in the 100. The second dot in the thousand refers to the another 10 dots in the 100 place. This dot represents or refers to this 10 dots in the 100 place. يبقى ال 1 dot في ال 1000 represents 10 dots in the 100 place. Okay, you understand now what I mean? Now, okay, again, as I said that each dot in the 1000 represents 10 dots in the 100. The first dot refers to 10 in the 100. Second dot in the 1000 refers to 10 dots in the 100 place. Third dot in the 1000 refers to 10 dots in the 100 place. Fourth dot in the 1000 refers to 10 dots in the 100 place. طيب, if I see this, who can tell me? Here I have 4 only, ولا 4,000? Yes, these 4 dots represents 4,000, or I can write it as 4,000, not only 4. What about these dots? Who can tell me? Yes, these dots are 40 what? 40, 100. 40, 100, right? طيب, that means what? That means in 4,000 equals to 40, 100, as you see in this chart. Okay? Now, on your own way, try to find the number of dots that will represent the dots in the 100 place when moved to the 10th place. تقدروا بقى تقولوا لي how many dots will be here in the 10th place? Okay, I will leave you to think in this now. Let's move and complete our lesson. Okay, today we have learned that the value of a digit changed by moving one place to the left. Yes, the value of the digit will increase by what? By 10 times, or be multiplied by 10 if it moves to the place to the left. And if it moves 2 places, the value will increase by 100 times. كل place I move to the left increase by 10. يبقى 2 places increases by 100 times, or multiplied by 100. Now you can easily use this in comparing the place values of a digit. Now let's apply all what we have learned in the practice part and solve the problems on page 18. Okay, let's move and solve problem 1 all together on the board. Here is the practice we will do all together. Number 1, he wants me to make 4 tenths and 3 ones times 10. Can you do it? Yes, of course. How can I write 4 tenths and 3 ones? Yes, show me كده. It is 43. Yes, 43. Can you make 43 times 10? It's very easy. Any number times 10 is, put the number as it is and add 0 to be 430. 430. Okay? يبقى to move to, from tens to hundreds, I will multiply by 10. Let's move to the second one. Here, 203 tenths times 10. Let's first write this as a number, or as a number standard form. Okay? 203 tenths. عندي هنا 203 tenths times 10. Who can tell me 230 times 10 equals what? Yes, times 10, it will be 2030. 300. To move from 100 to 1000, I multiply by 10, right? Let's move to the third one. 7,800 times 100. Let's do it. Yes, 7,800 times 100. What should I do? I will put the number as it is and add 2 zeros to be 780,000, right? What about this one? 604 tenths times 1,000. Let's write the number first and then multiply it by 1,000. So 640, I will write it as it is. Why 40? Because it is 4 tenths times 1,000. It will be like this and add the 3 zeros to be 640,000, right? Now, how can I solve number 5? 4 10,000 and 3 tenths, all of this times 100. How can I make it? 4 in the 10,000 and, okay, do you know the houses? Here is the ones and here is the thousand. Each house has 3 digits. 4 in the 10,000, this is the 100,000, and 4 in the 10,000, يعني 40,000, and 30, like this, times 100. Can you make it? Yes, it's very easy. It will be 40030, and I will add 2 zeros for the 100, right? Is it easy? Right, let's move to the last one. Here he wants me to highlight or circle the number that is 100 times greater than 560. يعني أنا عندي 560 عايز number greater than 560 ب 100 times. Okay? طيب, let's see. Is this greater than 560 100 times? This is 560 and times 10 only. يبقى wrong. So, is this 560 times 100? Yes, it is 560 times 100. So, this is the right answer. Okay? I hope you understand these examples very well. Now, at the end of our lesson, we have explored the relationship between the place values and had some activities on these relationships and using multiplication to compare between them. You will find more exercises in Check Your Understanding, which can reach using the code shown here or at the beginning of the lesson. Please get some more practice and be ready for the next lesson. Thank you so much and see you soon.